Welcome to Will Grit. Today I want to tell you about a conversation that happened over 2,000 years ago, a conversation so powerful it reveals why most of us chase the wrong things our entire lives. This is the story of King Pyrrhus and the philosopher who changed everything with one simple question. The year was 280 BC. King Pyrrhus of Epirus sat in his palace, surrounded by maps and battle plans. He was one of the greatest military minds of his time. Alexander the Great's generals had trained him. Victory followed him everywhere, but victory was never enough. His advisor, the philosopher Cineas, walked into the war room. He saw the king marking territories on a massive map of Italy. "My lord," Cineas said, "I see you prepare for another campaign." Pyrrhus looked up, his eyes bright with ambition. "Yes, Cineas, we march on Rome. The Romans grow too powerful. We will crush them and take Italy." Cineas nodded slowly. "And after you conquer Italy, what then?" The king smiled. "Then Sicily lies open before us. Rich, fertile Sicily. We will take it with ease." "I see," Cineas said. "And after Sicily?" Pyrrhus stood up, gesturing broadly. "After Sicily, Libya and Carthage await. The entire North African coast will be ours." The philosopher stroked his beard. "A magnificent vision. And after you conquer Africa?" Now the king's voice rose with passion. "Then we return east. We take Macedonia. We reclaim Greece. We build an empire that rivals Alexander himself." Cineas looked at his king. "And after all this, my lord, after you have conquered Rome, Sicily, Africa, Macedonia, and Greece, what will you do then?" Pyrrhus laughed. The tension left his shoulders. He sat back down in his chair with a satisfied sigh. "Then, my dear Cineas, we will rest. We will feast. We will drink the finest wines. We will enjoy conversations with friends. We will live in peace and happiness." The room fell silent. Cineas took one step forward. "My lord, what stops us from doing that right now?" The words hung in the air like smoke. Pyrrhus opened his mouth to respond, then closed it. He looked at his maps, at his battle plans, at all the territories he didn't yet control. He had no answer. The philosopher continued, his voice gentle but firm. "You have wealth, you have power, you have loyal friends and advisors. You have everything you need to feast, to rest, to enjoy deep conversations right here, right now. So why postpone this happiness? Why place it at the end of a road paved with blood and uncertainty?" Pyrrhus stared at the map of Italy. Thousands of soldiers would die in his campaigns. Years of his life would vanish into warfare. And for what? To eventually do what he already had the freedom to do today. The king had spent his entire life chasing the next victory, the next territory, the next triumph. He told himself that happiness waited on the other side of achievement, but achievement only led to more achievement. The finish line kept moving. Cineas had exposed the trap. We do this too. We say, "I'll be happy when I get the promotion." Then we get it and say, "I'll be happy when I make 6 figures." Then we make 6 figures and say, "I'll be happy when I retire." We postpone joy for an imaginary future that never arrives. History tells us Pyrrhus went to war anyway. He defeated the Romans in battle, but at terrible cost. His victories were so devastating to his own army that we still call hollow wins Pyrrhic victories today. He died years later in a street fight in Argos, struck by a roof tile thrown by an old woman. He never got his peaceful retirement. He never got to rest and feast with friends. But here's what matters. Cineas gave him the choice. The philosopher showed him the door. Pyrrhus saw it clearly. He simply chose not to walk through it. You have the same choice right now. The question Cineas asked Pyrrhus is the question you need to ask yourself today. What stops you from living well right now? Not tomorrow. Not after the next goal. Not when conditions become perfect. Right now. This is Will Grit. Stop chasing. Start living. If you like this story, please give it a like and share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. For more inspiring stories like this one, thank you for staying with us. See you in the next story with new thoughts and new lessons. Until then, stay well and stay peaceful.